What's up? This is Brett Snodgrass with the Simple Wholesaling team, and welcome to Mistake Monday. And I'm excited. I haven't actually done one of these before, so thanks for letting me do this for you guys. It's a glorious Monday, and I'm excited to share with you some of the mistakes that I've made in this business, which are a lot. We don't have as many episodes. There would be hundreds of episodes if we could talk about all the mistakes that I made in this particular business. But I'm just going to share one today. Number one, if you know my story, I actually started this business flipping houses about 13 years ago. This was around 2007, bought my first home, and did learn how to do that, right? I made some money on the first several hundred homes. But the biggest mistake that I made was that for the first roughly 7 years, my dad and I were doing it together, and he wanted to go out to retire, focus on his retirement, and I wanted to launch more of a business. But within that 7 year period, I didn't hire anybody. You can look at our team now, and some people say, "Wow, you've hired some amazing guys and amazing people and gals," and I have, but I did not do that in the first 7 years of our business, and that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made. And I see so many entrepreneurs make that mistake. They continue to do, right? They continue to do everything that they enjoy doing and everything that they have to do and they want to do and need to do and even don't want to do, they do, right? Most entrepreneurs just do. If you look at the percentages, most people are just one person. I forget what they are, but around 70% of entrepreneurs just have a one person team, just them. And that was a huge mistake that I made. And I think I had a hang up in my mind that if I hired someone, it was going to cost me money, right? It was going to be an expense. Like, how can I afford to hire someone at $10 an hour? Because that's going to cost me $10 an hour. And I didn't want to give up any of that money. And someone had also put into my mind, why would you have someone else do something when you can just do it yourself? So a lot of you are thinking that right now. And I'm going to tell you that that's a mistake. It's a huge mistake that I made, that I wish that if I could go back and rewind the clock, I wish I would have hired someone within the first few months of my business, because there were certain things in my business that I did not enjoy doing and that I wasn't very good at, right? And one example comes to mind is that my dad and I had bought this house in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it was a cheap house, and it was a house that a drug addict had been in. And my dad and I, we decided, hey, if we clean out the houses, that we can make more money on them. They would sell at a higher profit. So that's what we started doing. We would buy a house and we would both go in and we would start cleaning up that house. Remember this one particular house, I was cleaning up literally human feces, which were just sitting on the floor. I was cleaning up needles and a lot of just drug type of paraphernalia. And I was just asking myself, like, Brett, what are you doing? Like, this is crazy. This place, you could get hurt by being here. So you could step on one of these needles and you could get really sick, right? And I guess I just didn't know, there's people out there that would actually enjoy doing this work, that I can actually pay someone to do this. I don't have to do it myself. And that's when that light bulb went off. And since the last 5 or 6 years that I've been doing this business, I have learned that I don't have to do everything. And actually, recently, Brian, who's on a lot of these videos, has become the CEO of our company. That I learned that concept so much that I learned to hire and learn to delegate and learn to train and build processes and systems around it through the help of other people, that I actually learned that I don't have to do anything in the business. And that was a puzzle that we had to put together. But I'm just going to really encourage you that if you're hung up on thinking that hiring someone is an expense, that you don't know if you should do it. Think about it's an asset to you, it's an asset to your company. That Think of it like that, right? Think of it when you buy a house for, let's just say you buy a house for $50,000. You're not going to sell that house for $50,000. That's not your goal. Your goal is to sell the house for $60,000. Well, it's the same thing with an employee. You hire an employee for $10 an hour. Your goal is not to have them make the company $10 an hour. Your goal is to have them make $20 an hour or $30 an hour, and you're going to get a lot of your time back. So start to think like that when it comes to hiring people as an asset, and makes you money, and it gives you time, and it gives you just a sense of well-being because you can take things off your plate. You don't have to think about everything all the time. Yes, there's some training to it and some process that you have to build, but once you build it, it's so much better, so much easier. I hope this helps you guys out today. Thank you for visiting me on Mistake Monday, and I'll see you guys next Monday.